Hello there. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of The Business Age. You'll be with me, Naingwa Fiona Mothoni. On today's edition, we focus on an essential component of Rwanda's economy. We'll be looking at TVET and how it is equipping the future generations with the skills needed and the relevant skills in the dynamic, ever-evolving job market.
We are in a country which is trying really to develop itself as fast as possible. And for a national economic transformation, so there are so many activities in need of skilled labor. So, and TVET comes in to make sure that we have a skilled and qualified workforce. So, and the economy of our country is based on quite a number of sectors, including, let's say, like construction is a big sector, like manufacturing, so we are going for industrialization. Like agriculture, we are going for modern agriculture. If we go for hospitality and tourism, you know, we are promoting Visit Rwanda. So, and when we go to manufacturing, as I was saying, we are promoting Made in Rwanda. So we want to go for industrialization in various aspects of our economy. So, and for that, as TVET, we come in to make sure that there is a skilled labor, a qualified workforce. So, and the programs we offer, they cut across all these economic sectors. So, and we have quite a good number of young Rwandans who are attending various courses in our schools. So we have schools spread across the country, at least one TVET school per sector. And we are covering almost 30 programs which are they cut across all these economic sectors. So all we want to assure is that whoever is looking for a qualified employee in terms of how the level of the skills they need. So we make sure that we provide skills. So that is the big mandate of TVET.
TVET in Rwanda has a clear and ambitious target: to equip the next generation with the skills needed to thrive in a competitive job market while driving the country's economic growth. But what exactly is the plan to achieve this, and how does it align with the demands of the job markets?
We have so far 596 TVET schools across the country. Oh. So, and the number keeps increasing because we are also setting up new schools as of now. The initial target was to have at least one school per sector. That one we have achieved it. But you know, the sectors we are talking about, they are also very big, I would say. So we are now trying to increase the number of schools, even per sector. But the main target is to make sure that every Rwandan who wants to go to attend a technical school, they can have a school closer to where they live. So that is something which will continue for long. So I cannot say that we, at a certain level, we shall stop. We shall continue setting up new schools. And also new programs, because you know, technology keeps changing on a regular basis. So, and as it changes, we also adapt. We also come up with new programs, new courses. So it's a journey which will continue for long. We have some targets set by the government of Rwanda. So where, for example, we need to create like 250,000 new jobs every year. So, and when you talk about creating jobs, it means also developing skills. So we are developing skills in such a way that these young Rwandan people can get jobs. And the target, the main target of the country, as I said, is to create 250,000 new jobs every year. So we are contributing to this. The impact is to be seen everywhere. So, but for us to be sure that we are really creating the impact we want to create, we carry out what we call tracer studies to see our graduates, how they are being absorbed into the labor market. So, and the recent tracer studies have shown that close to 70% of our graduates, they are absorbed into the labor market 6 months after their graduation. And that is really very positive. And we also go beyond that, and we look for how employers are satisfied with the kind of the skills and competencies our graduates have. So, and we have realized that more than 80% of the employers, they are satisfied with the skills of our graduates. So that is quite good, but of course there is still room for improvement. So because we really want everyone who goes through our skills development systems gets immediately employed. So they can secure jobs, or they can even create their own jobs. They can set up companies.
We start at SOS Technical High School here in Rwanda, where young students are eager to learn about innovations that are coming in, looking at getting skills in the cutting-edge technologies that are emerging, and they also want to put footprints in what is being done globally and put Rwanda on the map. Come along.
Me, actually, I chose it because of how challenging it is. Because you see, here outside rep, it's somehow more theoretical. You don't get the chance to practice what you are studying. But in TVET, I like the part where you learn from, you even go in internship, you go and practice what you learned, and you go outside with something that will help you be recruited and change the world. Me and my family, they encouraged me to do sciences. But then I told myself, why can't I try something new, something different from others? That's when I came here and they supported me. But when I reached here, it was very difficult because I didn't like some things like IT, but I tried my best and always I had a goal. I worked on many projects like that I liked most when I was working here in TVET. It was the project that I worked on the first time. It was a project about journalism.
The first time when I decided to choose TVET is that I loved computing. I loved working on computer, and I wanted to become an IT. In few words, I wanted to become an IT, but I was not interested until I entered in it very well. It was challenging because it was my first time to, I knew how to use computer, but not that well. But when I started networking, my skills I became strong in using the computer. Networking is the study of interconnection of components. This is where you interconnect components so that they can work together and share information and other resources. I knew how I can connect the computer with other things so that I can share the resources, and also outside about saying in the trade of networking, what I gained is that I can install cameras. At the first time when I entered in networking, I didn't know how to install cameras. I saw them like this, like how you saw them. But when I entered networking, I knew how to install cameras and how you can monitor them, how you can give access to someone so he or she is the only one who is allowed to enter in that place.
To see this in action, we also visited the Church of God High School, where we met a passionate student pursuing a career in tourism.
I love traveling and exploring new things, and I saw tourism as a path that would lead me to that specific thing I need, like exploration, visiting new places. A person who chooses TVET is actually they know the type of job they want to do, the career they want to pursue, because when you choose it, you know what you're going to do, and 98% you do it, because there are not many things you can choose aside from what you did in high school. I am positive that with the skills that I'm going to get from this school, these teachers, the students, they help you to get to the level where you feel like, yes, I will achieve this goal that I want to achieve. I personally, I will become an air attendant, like an air attendee, a flight attendant. So I believe that with the courses that we study, those basic airfares, all those that are like connected to the planes, the airport, I know that I have a chance on the job market. I know that I'll be competent.
When you're studying ICT, the first thing that you have to look at is being open-minded. You get many ideas when you look at the world more brightly. You take every opportunity that you get to learn. You have to learn, because there's no one who is an expert in ICT. The first thing that you have to know is that you know nothing, and you have to learn from others. That's why we get to improve and do things which are very interesting.
In our classes, we get taught public speech, like we do presentations, group work, we use the internet, like we send work on emails and all that. I thought it was just going to be a normal course. We go in class, we write notes and all that, and then we just go home. But we get to learn the skills to talk in public. We were taught discipline in the way you conduct yourself, how you talk, what you say. So it is what I expected. There is interaction, there is explaining into details.
Normally in the TVET, we are teaching in two ways. So the first is the teaching which take place in the classroom. That's where the teacher may interact with the student directly. But also in the workshop, that's where the students may use hands-on skills. So if they have been taught something, so they should have a separate time where they can now make practice of what they did. And also during the internship. So we are teaching, but we should make sure that our students, really the skills they are getting here at school, are the same as the skills the companies or the countries normally needs. So during the internship, the students are getting the skills which normally are like the same as the skills we need at the labor market.
TVET is unique in the sense that it places a strong emphasis on practical work, allowing students to apply and enhance what they've learned in classroom. This hands-on approach ensures that graduates are not only knowledgeable but also job-ready from day one.
The TVET curriculum, the first thing which is different from other curriculum, the first thing is that it requires you to do more practice. You can't know without practicing. And okay, the part of sciences, you see the curriculum which is the scientific curriculum of REB, there is fixed. The knowledge they give you is fixed. You don't get the chance to explore more like in ICT. ICT, they give you more time to explore and yes, to bring your own ideas. So they actually value more teamwork in ICT. The first challenge that I wanted to solve was about farmers. You see, farmers have the problem of when they come in the drought seasons, they don't get the chance of growing crops. They just have the chance of harvesting. So I thought of giving them rain while it is dry. I want to apply ICT and TVET to solve that problem.
When I finish here, I want to study cybersecurity. I want to help in reducing the crimes which are done online. So I want to apply so that I can study in one of the universities that are most strong so that I can gain the knowledge I can use in preventing those crimes. I think that I have chosen a good way. I have seen that technology is being used worldwide, and in our country the technology is the most important part they are using. So I see that when I'm studying networking, there are things I can solve with the skills I have gained in networking. I'm seeing that the machines are replacing humans on the work, so I'm training myself so that I can make those machines so that those machines can become the income to me. I don't want to lose the job, even though I started in this trade of networking. So I want to get the knowledge so that I can create the machines that can simplify work and make the work easy for others. I'm confident that I can get a job because we conduct internships that helps to equip us with practical knowledge.
When the students are in free time, we create a room which is called free space. And the students are going there to do their own project. And after this, now the projects are monitored or the students are helped by the teachers. The market is also involving in our teaching and learning. We do have what we call internship or industrial attachment program, whereby every student or every trainee from level 3, he has at least 1 month, level 4 also 1 month, and level 5 1 month. So this time is to motivate the students how what they are learning at school can be also applied at the labor market. So when they join now those companies, so the companies through their company trainer help our students to learn or to acquire the new technologies which are in the labor market. So if now I make like a projection of what our students are getting from school, to the future of the country, to the future of the continent. So I think now I believe it is good. So, and that's why even after like 5 years, the government of Rwanda through RTB, through REB, they are changing, like, or they are modifying the curriculum. So the curriculum is changed or is modified depending on the labor market needs. So now I'm 100% believe that the skills that our students are getting so is fitting or are fitting with the labor market needs.
One of the inspiring aspects that stood out while engaging with the different students was the passion that they had to bring their studies to life. They're not just learning, they are ready to make a difference. These young minds are driven by a desire to tackle real-life challenges and create solutions that impact communities and beyond.
I would encourage them to come to TVET because, as we see, in this modern world, things are changing. Technology is the most crucial part that is taking the world. So I can say that they can come in this sector so that they can equip themselves and gain the knowledge of how they can develop the modern world through technology. Because I think in our trade, the most thing we focus on is technology, and in TVET in general, the most thing we focus in is technology. If you want to know the things, they can come here and gain the knowledge. It doesn't require to have special skills about computers and other electronic components. What it requires is that you have to be equipped. You have to have the strong passion of what you are getting in, of what you are going to study. You have to have the strong passion. It doesn't require to have many skills about computers so that you can come in this trade. So I can encourage them to come with the strong passion of achieving great things.
While significant progress has been made in equipping students with practical skills and creating pathways to employment, there are still challenges and misconceptions that need to be addressed.
The challenge that we may have is still the misconception of the parents. So sometimes the parents are thinking that the TVET, when the students are finishing their studies in level 5, so it's like they don't need to go to university. It seems that the learning for them is ended in the secondary, which is wrong. So, and this may discourage the students who want to join the TVET to select them when they are in senior 3. So this is the challenge. So other challenge is about the women or the females or our girls. So it seems also that the learning technical skills is for boys. So, but which is good today is that this misconception is now like changing, and for us at this school, if we try to make our own assessment, currently we have like 46 students are girls, so the number is not good. But for us, which is very important, is those who are in those 46% of the students that we have, they are the good ones that you have. So the best students from level 3 to level 5, the best ones, at least the top 5 are girls. And even last year, the best student in the country in software development was our girl. To mean, even if they may have this misconception, but there is a proof that even the girls can perform well in a TVET. Okay. So, and also the misconception, if we are trying to see the number of enrollment or admissions in the TVET schools currently, so now the number is increasing. To mean, this misconception is also like eradicated as well as also the skills or the skills of the people or the knowledge of the about TVET is increasing.
Yeah, though it's very challenging, like as a woman, to go outside and your ideas to be accepted. You know, things like of TVET, it's more good for boys. That's what they tell us. But the things that I like about it is like I like the challenge which is inside. I want to do something that will tell people that even I am capable of doing it.
Other challenge that we may have is about when we send our students in the companies, so the companies may not see the student as the new employee. So if a trainee is in internship, is not only learning, but also is contributing to the company, like production. So the companies also still have like this misconception that if we sell them the trainees in internship, it's like they want to waste their time, while they are going to increase their productivity by having their time to learn, but also to contribute to their general production.
My parents and everybody around me used to be like, no, you have the skills, you're intelligent, don't go waste that in TVET. I was like, come on, how they underestimate TVET. They say it's for the weak, culinary is for the weak, tourism is for the weak. But me, I personally, I believe that everything a person tries to approach and try to dive in, it gets hard when you go deeper. The deeper you go, the harder it becomes, but with your flow, how you want to dive in it is what shows that you will achieve it or you will not. So I would tell people to not underestimate something, but just the way that it looks. Actually, it's hard for a person to memorize all the codes for the airports and the airplanes, the city codes, the country codes. It's really hard. So people who see it from afar, they're like, nah, that's for the weak, but no, it is not.
The first challenge I would say is, technical education is very expensive because it's like not a normal way of teaching and learning. For us, we learn by doing. And learning by doing requires really a lot of resources, a lot of equipment, a lot of consumables. So, and the teachers, they need to be highly qualified. So the first challenge is really to have all the required resources because they are expensive. But for this, the government of Rwanda is really investing a lot in TVET, and we are so grateful. And of course, we also work together with various development partners who also provide some financial and technical assistance, and that is really wonderful. And we also work together with the private sector because, as I said, technical education requires learning by doing. And in most of the case, the part of doing is done within the private sector, with the industry. So we came up with a very innovative way of teaching and learning. We call it dual training, where the theoretical part of the learning happens in a school and the practical component of the learning happens in industry. So, and this collaboration with the industry is really something which is helping us at least to cover the big cost required to have all the required resources in our schools. So the second challenge I wanted to mention is also to have qualified teachers in technical education. Because for us, a teacher is also a qualified technician. So if you are teaching software development, this means that teachers, they are software developers. And if software developers are really very expensive outside there on the labor market, you can imagine how hard it is to bring them into education, where we cannot afford to pay them really very attractive salaries. So, but that is quite a challenge, but as a solution, we keep on building the capacity of our own teachers. We keep on training them, both technically and pedagogically, and they keep on improving. So, but I also wanted to call upon everyone who has some competencies and feel like they can share the skills they have with our young people or young Rwandans. They are welcome to come and partner with us so that we can give them time to share their skills and knowledge for the best of this country. Yeah.
Any other challenge or for now?
Yeah, the other challenge I may not forget to mention is the perception on TVET. Because, we still have some young people or some parents who still think like TVET is for those ones who are less talented, who failed to go into the other form of education, general education. But this is not true. This is totally wrong. So, because TVET is technology, and technology as of today and even in the future, technology is life. So you can imagine living in the current world, even in the future, without any technical skills. It's like being really not capable of even reading and write. So because, technology is now driving each and everything. So that's why we call upon parents to really allow their kids to go for technical education. This can guarantee them to have jobs upon completion of their studies. And this can really guarantee them also a way to be able to set up their own businesses based on technology as well, based on the skills and the competencies they will get through TVET. So TVET is therefore not a form of education for those ones who are less talented. We are even calling upon those ones who are better, who are skilled, who have enough knowledge, even in sciences, to join technical education. Because the current technical education is very modern. It requires also hard work. It requires even sciences. So it requires dedication. So it is the future.
In a rapidly evolving job market, staying ahead of the curve is essential. That's why the Rwanda TVET board works tirelessly to ensure that its programs keep pace with changing industry demands.
So we are required to revise our programs every 3 years. So, but you know how fast technology is changing. Sometimes we are no longer waiting for the 3 years to pass. So because, you know, there are these kind of emerging technologies coming up every year, I would say even every day. So, and this requires to sit together with the private sector, the employers, to get to know the kind of the technology that they really want to use in their daily businesses. And then we incorporate these technologies into our programs. So we keep on revising our programs, and we came up with another, I would say, innovative idea. Because, you know, education is like a cycle where you can spend 3 years before you release the first graduates. But this time we have some short-term training programs where whenever there is a new technology, we can teach it even within 3 months or even 4 months or even a year in such a way that even those employed people, they can come back and go for skills upgrading programs. So in such a way that we keep on improving the service delivery on the labor market, but also we stay updated. So back to the curriculum, you know, we are the one developing the programs, but we don't do it on our own. So we work together with the employers, the private sector. They are the one to define the occupational standards. So then once we know what they really want to have as quality of our graduates, then we translate these competencies into learning outcome, into the way of delivery. So that's what we do. So, but we do this hand in hand with the private sector, the employers, to make sure that we meet their demands and their expectations.
For the things we study, if you don't love them, you cannot work. You have to love what you want to become in the future. Like me, if I love being a flight attendant, and I believe that I will. I came in the trade of tourism ready to take in whatever they give me. Even if it's a big book, I know that I have to learn and get something from there. So for the people who are not sure what they want to do with their lives, we're still young. People take time to know what they want to be, to know the employment they want to get, or if they want to be a businesswoman, a businessman. So I can advise them to wait until they're sure that they want to join TVET, because if you don't love it, you cannot do it. It requires passion and love for the course you want to choose.
There you have it. The country is evolving and integrating the changes that are happening, as well as equipping the future generation. You are with me, Naingwa Fiona Mothoni, and thank you for tuning in to The Business Age.